Hey everyone, welcome in. We're gonna be playing some Marlynn today. I'm just gonna go ahead and get a game while we wait. But yeah, we'll talk about the deck list after. But I feel like the first game should at least give us a decent idea of what we're doing. Okay, fighting against a Rhino. I think we want to go first on this version of the build. I mean, I guess we always want to go first, kind of. Skullbone's good. Bring in all our harpoons. And I think we do bring in riches just because like there are some fatigue grinder lists running around. Probably just run it like this. Well, I can't even see my deck list over the microphone. Okay. Immediately Skullbone deciding to be a pain, but that's fine. I just YOLO off the quiver, but kind of don't even like doing that. I think I'm just like pitching away this Codex for later and arsenaling the King Shark. So already we have a strike against Skullbone, which is kind of funny. Let's go ahead and block, I guess. Yeah. We get pummeled here. Good beats. Not a very good Rhino turn though. Skullbone. Skullbone can inform our Ponder, which is nice. Do we want to gold the tip now, or do we want just something better? I feel like something better is probably better. Alright, we got 2 more looks. Alright, Blood Rot's pretty good. Oh, they had a little first and last. I love that. We could top the Bluefin. Not really opposed. Bottom it. Or so just to cycle 1 card deeper towards our power. And they have 7 armor. Feels like more of just like an aggro Rhino, so I think hooking here is probably correct. A little bit lag. We could definitely get punished for this hook, but I'm not entirely sure what punishes us against like a more aggressive slanted Rhino. Probably just like no fear, right? Or like reckless swing, or yeah, reckless swing. We'll see though. 13 is pretty good, and they only have 7 armor. Like if they had scabs, oh, they are just gonna give us the fridge. Okay, interesting. I'm assuming do they have some way to block this? I don't think they do. Oh, they do have a sync. Okay. Hey, I was wrong that this is more aggro Rhino. Alright, we lost our hook, which is slightly punished, I guess, but I feel like we made at least an informed gamble there. Okay, sitting with the overcrowded. Alright, so now we need to figure out, I guess, what we're gonna do. I don't want to just like seafloor salvage, net a gold, and then like send the drill shot, I guess. Is that the best play? We could also trophy shot. Does trophy shot even do anything for us here? I feel like the answer is no. We could actually use Tunic to pump the drill shot, which is pretty decent. Hey, this is fine. A little bit punished there, but I didn't really expect Reiner to be running Sync below. Let's go for, so we Codex, load the drill shot, and then Skullbone, which is also really nice. Okay, that's a good ponder target, so we'll leave that on top. Alright, we lost our hook, which is definitely, like, not ideal. I think that was at least an informed gamble. So we have Savage Sash, Bone Breaker, Trackers. I guess it's just the bone. Yeah, it's always the bone. Okay. Okay, more Krakens is not exactly what I was looking for. I guess they could have also punished us with the Reckless Swing. Maybe I was a little bit greedy on my part. Alright, we got some claws coming in. What am I most worried? I'm worried about like strongest survive here, I guess the most, but I also do want to just like block with this Kraken before we lose it. Maybe I am just blocking here. I just want to make sure I can block with it before we like completely get like intimidated. Okay, Splatter Skull, I guess, is the punish for this. So I think we're just letting the Kraken go then. That's fine. I guess we weren't blocking it anyways, right? I don't think we were ever gonna block the full amount because we only have 4 armor plus 3. More so just want to make sure we weren't getting intimidated. They also did have the strongest survive too, which is kind of funny. I think they just didn't have the resources. Alright, Skullbone. Lone Shark is decent, but the problem is we don't even have Hook anymore. Yeah, I am supposed to chop it though. I'm thinking on that. Having this on top is nice, but we are kind of losing a little bit. No, maybe we're not losing that bad. We are sitting in for 10, so life totals are like fairly even. If we get a non-attack here, it's like we're in pretty good shape. Alright, all blues, or all not, or all attacks rather. They can't really, I guess their turn is just like show strength, arsenal, strongest or something. Yeah, okay, seems good. Alright, so there's the strongest, which is actually really annoying here. Oh, we do have a funny thing with the Skullbone though. You can like block Sea Lice here. Then we can Loan Shark, make a Goldfin, Codex, Skullbone, then Goldatip. Which like refreshes the goal, which is kind of funny. Loan Shark is like not great, but it does let us at least do something, which is nice. Yeah, I feel like maybe that hook was greedy. I also guess I just like didn't know what kind of Rhino they were. The beaten trackers maybe just threw me off though. Goldatip on top, is that what we want? Still just want to draw like any 3 oak at this point. Alright, refresh the gold. I guess just fire this for 5. Not bad though. Like 7, 3 cards 7 with some additional value on the back, I guess. Red foot's fine. Seems like we're gonna get the beaten trackers. So what are they arsenal? They arsenal the show strength. Sense. Who's the sunken? Okay, this is fine. I think we're still gonna look to like trophy shot on our turn if we can help it. But we're gonna take at least. So if they can do claw plus show strength, then we're going to 3, and they go to 18. Strongest survive is also really annoying. Could give armor here, like give armor plus pre-med plus this. Is that even good? It would allow us to just send Redfin for 8. It's not bad, but losing the armor and the tunic counter does feel kind of painful. But then we're also just like losing a card anyways. You know, 3 oak draws have been brutal lately. Okay, we saw all of our Krakens too. We have a King Shark left. It's not an easy block. I kind of the problem is I still lose like the tunic though, so we have to like gamble off the gold. This is just like pretty bad in general. I think this is maybe still correct though. Feels bad. Alright, so I think we are gambling off the gold. Oh. Alright, need a hit with a piece of disruption this game. One time, please. And we will. Unlucky. Okay, so we have a Blood Rush. Okay, so we're like dead. We're maybe not dead, but we're pretty close to dead. Damn, brutal first game. I just wanted to have some fun on Marlynn, the Marlynn stream, but I guess Talishar had other plans. Alright, so 6. So they still have that show Strength and Arsenal, right? So it's 6. presumably another 6 into 8. So I think we're just like dead, right? Because it's 12 plus 10, 22. We can block 8. So yeah, we're like, youch. Or I guess, no, sorry, we're taking 1 less, but I still think we're dead. Because this claw's only coming in for 5 this time. Okay, it's just show strength. Which still kind of just kills us. Especially because they banished the red, actually. We could actually block with the King Shark. It would have been a lot better. We get a 1 here, and then we just have to Yol off the 3 oak. Alright, let's do it. I'm gonna draw 3 oak, 3 oak. Okay, this is not... This could be worse. I think we are gonna go for the gamble, though. What reds do we have left in the deck? We still have... Oh my god, we have so many reds left in the deck. We have 2 pre-meds... Or no, sorry, 1 pre-med. 1 King Shark. Or no, we pitched the King Shark. We have 2 3 oaks, 3 take games, and then a bunch of like yellows as well. The odds of this gold hitting are not great, but we kind of just need to in order to get any closer to, I guess, winning the game. All right, we whiffed there. Unlucky game. But this is, I guess, a high variance deck, so it happens. Oh, I got a cat. That'll make the variance a little bit better.
Annoying.
Why is he annoying? He's at me. That's what he does. Why are you squirming? Cat cam. Everyone say hi to Philip. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh! Okay, buddy. Alright, you want to leave. He's fine. I think I need this Reinhardt to brick, like, horrendously in order to get back in the game. That'll do it. Philip gang, yep. Philip enjoyers stay winning. All right, let's see what actually their deck was, because I'm kind of curious if we just got unlucky there. Good game. So they had 3 sink below. So I guess we just kind of got unlucky that one turn where they had the sink. And then 2 reckless, which I guess it was more likely to punish. What else was bad that game? I guess our like draws weren't even that good, right? We still had what was our stack at this point? We didn't resolve a codex. We had 2 3 oaks left in the deck, and where was our pitch? I think it was like around. I don't think we pitched a gold to tip unless I'm misremembering. I think it was around here, like our pitch, right? So basically, two or three 3 oaks in the bottom like 30 is pretty rough. And then we also just like whiffed on all of our big harpoons. So unlucky, but we'll get another one. Let's see. Let's not playing Silver Age. CC. All right, landing this to KO. All right, hopefully this will be. Oh, we got another cat. All right, now Wilson and Joyers are winning. This one's a lot less squirmy. All right, we definitely. We go first or second in this, actually. Still feel like first if we're doing cross wrap, but I know like you can go second. It's just like against KO feels pretty bad. Yeah, let's run it. Hello, Wilson. Ooh, this is Dan's like bad and good at the same time, I guess. I'd almost rather just like Arsenal pass here. I guess we could also like play the Rabble out. Don't love Codex of Blood Rotting on turn 1. I think I'm just passing. God, I'm like missing the Crown of Dominion like really hard. Oh, it would have been so good here. Oh, we're getting blood rushed again. No. The Brutes are putting in some work today. Wilson and Jars are now winning, yes. Alright, so we're going to take 14-ish here. Fine. I was almost debating even just like filtering away the blood rot. That might not have been wrong. I feel like the biggest thing with like the Crown of Dominion, or with losing Crown of Dominion, right, is just like I feel like your big game trophy shots get a lot worse. All right, what are we doing here? All right, we got the claw. Could also just like block with the big game trophy shot here. Setting in 14 is like semi-tempting though. Let's just get our block in. Alright, pretty good start from opponent. At least it's not like a 5-card blood rush, so a little bit less scary. Yeah, let's get our opt value. Rabble is whatever. Rabble's more so just like a filler blue in this matchup. But you can get the initial value, but the problem is Skullbone. Now we cannot safely hook here, so we'll just send in the shark. Seems like they're maybe just going to give us the fridge here. At least we do get the first shark in the graveyard, so our codexes are a little bit better later on. We also got the vigorous smash up. Okay, interesting. Right, so they win that one. You know, they have a reckless stampede. And we're drawing into a trophy shot. Okay. I can deal with drawing into a trophy shot. God, the problem with these trophy shots has just been like not having that starting gold is like so painful. At least when you compare it to like the COD list, right? You refresh the page. I am fully refreshed. You refresh the page. You do it. I'm not gonna do it. I already refreshed. Look, I'm doing it on stream. The nerve to tell me to refresh.
Crashing out over refreshing.
Yes. The nerve. My internet is perfect. Look, I'll refresh all day. This is very funny though. Alright, what are we doing here? The ARKO opponent might have just like disconnected hard. Alright, we'll give them a minute. Well, if they did disconnect, we get a nice little win rate padding here by claiming victory. Hey Jacob, welcome. Welcome, fellow Fisher people. Yeah. Playing some Marlynn. I am immediately questioning the headpiece choice, but we're trying some stuff out today. It's always good to experiment. I think in the first 2 games we played with this, I've missed having the COD. It's kind of wild how like good that starting gold is, right? It's like I feel like the big game trophy shots get just so much worse. All right, this is how we pad the elo, by the way. Pro tip. All right, let's actually I guess go over the deck list real quick. So yeah, this is the deck list I want to try today. So we're not running COD. What I did do is I added a couple more little ways to reload, like we added the Codex of Blood Rot. And I think in some matchups you can also just like main deck the Riches, which is one thing I want to experiment with. But this kind of is inspired by I guess like Levi's kind of list from like some of the pro quests. Like I think he's just on solo cross wrap. I don't even think he's on Dominion anyway. So I wanted to see if like adding more reload and then like maybe a couple extra blues would help the deck be a little bit better. But like having we already saw in the first two games that like not having that starting gold really does hurt like the big game trophy shots and stuff like that. So to be determined, I guess. I don't know. Maybe just small sample size in the first couple games, but Skullbone not necessarily overperforming in the first two games. But that's at least the theory. We're also cutting red lace with Blood Rot, which I think is like the weakest pump, but it's also like I don't know. I still kind of like this card just as like a 0 for 5 functionally. But that's what we're trying today, and then I think the board is like largely the same. Although I do still have the Crown of Province, which I think is like pretty decent in the gravy. Any spooky sauce in the list? I think like Maze just Crown of Dominion and Skullbone. I don't know. Skullbone spooky. Could be spooky. I think Codex of Blood Rot's pretty spooky as well. I think those are like the three main things we're gonna try today, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes. I also I also cut the Honing Hood from the deck because I think that's like even against Syndra, this card is not real for like Warmonger's tech. It's just like so bad. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Also, I did want to shout out the 24-hour stream, which we're going to be doing next Saturday. So I think it's going to be starting at like 9 a.m. our time, which is I think like 9 a.m. PST, or I think it's like 8 a.m. PST or whatever. What's up? Oh, Tegan's just chilling. Skullbone, yeah, we're playing some Skullbone Marlynn. We're gonna. I don't know if it's Pog yet. The first two games, I feel like we're not a particularly strong argument for Skullbone, but we're gonna try it. But anyways, we're gonna do a 24-hour stream next week. We also are going to be doing like little donations, incentives, raffles, stuff like that. So it's gonna be really fun. So yeah, feel free to click the notify button if you want to be aware of the next or the stream. It's gonna be for 24 hours. So if you stop by at any point, do it. And we're also gonna be doing like a little video to do like the donation, like the donation raffle, like instructions and stuff like that. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get some games. And yeah, we're also gonna have a lot of our friends join us. Let's actually try Syndra. I'm kind of curious how bad losing COD into Syndra is. So I think we still want to go second. I've been telling people have been telling me that you're supposed to still go second into Syndra. I've also seen some people are in Kraken into Syndra, which I don't know is necessarily correct. But let's try going second into Syndra and see how bad it is. Like losing the starting gold, especially in this matchup, feels pretty painful. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Alright, double sunken's kind of funny. So I think we're just gonna lean into blocking hard so that we can get like maybe like an early flick and then punish them with a sunken. Oh, they're just gonna filter. Okay. I will also just filter. So we're drawing Codex of Blood Rot. Probably good enough, right? Rationale behind going second versus Syndra is because you don't let her get the first real turn of the basically. But the problem with doing this in a Skullbone list is because like we don't have necessarily a guaranteed way to punish the Syndra. It's like we don't have a like starts in play, stays in play way to punish the Syndra by like keeping the tempo going first. So it's like a little bit awkward. Yeah, sip sip. I also just learned what that meant. I think there's also like some argument to sending the sleep guard here. 3 Oak's a nice draw. Oh, we'll keep that on top. And then the question is, do we want to hook here? If we hook, you could potentially get punished by Dragon Scaler plus random 4 block plus 3 block, which they did have like, it seemed like an awkward opener that couldn't send damage. It's very possible they do have like a direct in their hand, so I think I'm not supposed to hook. Even though like the hook is kind of free here because they don't want to block this anyways. Sip sip, yeah. Okay, so I thought it was like a Kiwi thing of like you're taking a little drink. It's very funny. Uh, went to another PQ with Marlynn today. Lost the first 3 against Victor, plays, and Dory. Those are tough matchups. Right, so we have Empowerment, Rising Resentment, Blaze Headlong. Okay, and 1 random card in Arsenal. Sure. But yeah, those are tough matchups, especially like Pleiades and Dory. I think Victor is doable. It definitely just does depend on what the Victor list is. But yeah, those can be definitely rough. Okay, so the take game is a little bit awkward. If we had swapped the order of these, that would have been really nice. No Wongers, yeah, unfortunate. So I do know that they have the empowerment, so I feel like we're just going to be taking all the damage here, especially since we don't have a target trap. They do also have the hunter, so they already have a chain ender in their hand. Yeah, so I think we're just taking the damage here. Okay, I think they should be empowermenting this if they want to. I went to a PQ today as Verdance and faced 3 Syndra in the mirror instead of any of the good matchups in the room. Oh, unfortunate, Red. I'm sorry. Be like that. Okay, so we got the Rising Resentment coming in. So they went to... Oh, right, because Blaze Headlong is not a ninja card, right? So they have to do the empowerment here. Yeah, sometimes that's just how, like, Broke West go, right? You sometimes just, like, don't see the thing that you are, like, explicitly teching for. Like, I think I had, like, a ton of gravy practice in tech, right? It just, like, didn't end up mattering because I didn't play against any gravies. I think what I want to do with this hand. I feel like the correct answer is probably still just, like, no blocks. It's gonna probably hurt, but they do have, like, a Hunt the Hunter in hand and, like, some other unknown card. Okay, so Ravel's pretty good. So they can flick, play the Hunter Hunter. Oh, they're going to draw the brand, which is annoying. So if we give a block here, what do they do? I don't want them to draw the brand, ideally. But we know they probably don't have another empowerment. Or they at least can empowerment this, right? I've had Kinotech on my board, and yeah, I've yet to see one. Yeah. It's kind of underestimated how good gem RNG is in this game. I don't want to just like pitch the blue pin. Is this wrong? Really, like also get rid of the loan shark. No, let's just like block here and then maybe block with loan the next thing. They just play the Hunt the Hunter that I'm not gonna try to block out the mask, but I think blocking this out because we know they're drawing into another like starter is probably reasonable. Like they could use their flight path here to then give this go again, draw the card, play both those cards. I think if they have to cash in the equipment, I guess I'm like less upset about it. So I think we're supposed to let them have this now. And I think we're just gonna Skullbone looking for like Redfin or something better. So if they want a Dragon Scaler this, I'm fine with that. Because at least they're like losing this permanently, right? If they don't want to do it, then they don't get to play this. Brand, so they still get to buy back Dagger. There was also an argument where we could like give the Sea Lace there and try to like block out a little bit better. I don't know. Still want to try to hold on to the majority of this hand. All right, so we have a Yellowfin on top. It's obviously not great. Oh, do we want to risk the chance that we don't draw into another Harpoon? I think we should risk it because we're behind. Is what I'm thinking. Like, what happens if we just bottom this and just try to draw towards like King Shark? I think that's greedy, but probably correct. And I think we're just playing out the Lone Shark in case we like hard whiff, then we can at least like double crack gold and make a Goldfin. I just draw good. It's easy. It's easy. Just draw good. Hey Amy, how's it going? The Marlynn gaming is going great right now. Because we drew just like the perfect off the 3-oak, which is always nice. You know, always love to see a perfect 3-oak. Alright, we also get to hook this, which is nice. Yeah, Canty, absolutely correct. That's why I'm the best in the game. You always hit off Harmony, you always hit off the Ryuk. That's the real skill you need to practice, right? uh, never didn't have it. Exactly correct. Love to see it. Alright, we don't have a Ponder here, which is fine, but we are sitting now on a pile of gold. Like, this is a game where, like, not having the, what do you call it? Like, not having the starting gold might not have mattered as much, although it did still feel kind of like it mattered a little bit. So we got a Fire Tenant strike first. We have a Fealty token, and then they have a bunch of Draconic stuff. So if we take the Oath, I guess the question is, like, do they have another way to make a Fealty? We could also just take the strike first, and then what happens? They make a fealty here, or they have to, like, they flick on this, they demonstrate, and they can't play the Art of Dragonfire. Why do I feel like it's no, it's not demonstrate, right? It's like, I think we're just, this feels so weird to me. I don't know why I'm taking on this. Hold on, I'm gonna give them a thinking. What is the choice here? Because I want to leave them with the 2/1 cost, because then they can't, like, flick. They have both daggers, right? They have both daggers. So if we take the strike first, what happens? They have to fealty that. If we take the oath, then they just play this, flick, or oh, I didn't mean to take that. Is that correct? It's fine, whatever. I think it's probably the same. Did I see the Marlynn game from the calling? I think I did watch that game. Was that the one where the person was running, like, Kraken and stuff? I think that was interesting. I don't know if there's another one. I saw the one that was like round 3 or something. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, unfortunately they didn't get there. But I think that was a close game, at least from what it seemed. I'm gonna just go ahead and take the strike first there, but I don't know if that's correct. I mean, it's like functionally the same value proposition, right, between the oath and that. Because they can always just, like, fealty anyways, kind of, but they can't even, like, play the double 1 cost unless they hit with a dagger. I think this is still fine. Alright, hand looks good. Oh yeah, that was the one. Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like a pretty close game. So if they're just gonna, like, Art of Dragonfire me here, I'm kind of fine with that. Then we just get to send big damage. I don't know what their arsenal is. Okay, we did take the 2 damage. For some reason, I thought it missed it. Alright, so I think we're going full yellow on this turn. Yeah, let's do it. We'll take a little bit of damage here. Still a bunch of tar pits in the deck, though, that we have not seen. So, like, the cracking gold is, like, a little bit less good. They have, like, a D-react or a attack react here. Okay, they just want to flick a dagger. Makes sense. A little bit risky because they could end up, like, not having double daggers for a future turn. All right, so how do we want to start this? I think we're always, let's go ahead and make a Goldfin here because we can always cycle it to the port side. Let's just start cracking. All right, seafloor, decent. Try to find a better arrow. To the day, okay. I'll crack one more time. All right, trophy shot. All right, trophy shot works, I guess, although I'm still not super happy about sending the Goldfin here. So let's go ahead and trophy shot. We'll discard whatever off the top. So Yellowfin Harpoon, is that worth playing? So I think the value proposition on the Goldfin is still better, right? Because, like, this is basically just vanilla damage against them. Yeah, so I think we're just discarding that. Load. Get to refresh our Golda here at least, and then also sit on Arsenal. So not too bad. Still feel like this matchup can be really tough sometimes, especially if you're just not drawing like super hot. Although that one 3-up turn we did have was like really good. I do think that like COD in this matchup does feel like it matters a lot. But I guess I can't complain about Harpoon for 16, right? Seems pretty okay. So like we could now get in a situation where we just try to block out their mass next turn, and then we just like kill them with like a normal Goldfin. Oh, they did have a sync for a while. Interesting. So that's what they were sitting on for a couple turns, it seemed like. Makes sense. Now we hit him for 12. Alright, triple gold plus the Ponder. Codex is good because we do have the King Shark. Alright, good draws. We have the Tar Pit as well. Alright, so this is perfect, I think. We just Tar Pit Chain Link 2 ideally, and we can even give armor to support that. Yeah, I think we win this one, probably. Unless something like horrible goes wrong. Alright, so we'll Tar Pit here. They could theoretically like empowerment this plus another thing afterwards, but if they have that, then that's fine. We'll just like block with the trophy shot because we have Tunic up. I think Tar Pit here still makes a lot of sense. I'm still not sold. I don't know. Skullbone Cross Wrap is like such a weird card because it feels like it reduces the consistency of the deck a lot, even if it does give you like a lot more information power. So you're like trading off consistency in like one way for like trading off consistency in a different way. It could also just be like play pattern things. Like maybe people are like more practiced with cross rep than I am. Alright, so they did make a resource. Why did they make a resource? So they can already buy back daggers for free, so it has to be a 1 cost, which means we are going to probably have to block at some point this turn. We do have the fealty token, so Art of Dragon Fire does not kill us immediately, but it would get us pretty low. And they've only seen the one of. How many of this card does Syndra normally run? I feel like it's normally like 2 or 3, right? I have not like taken a really close look at a lot of Syndra lists, but I know that like sometimes the one costs are either like 1-ofs or like maybe 2-ofs or 3-of. Like I don't know if this one's a 3-of though. I feel like it's probably not. Like I know what's the other one that we saw? I think it's like Endear Devotion. That might be closer to a 3-of. I don't know. I've not kept up with Syndra lists, so I guess we can just kind of afford to block with the trophy shot. Oh no, we need to worry about the Arsenal Disruption card, right? So I think we just take this, right? But also just like give up Cross Wrap just to pad the life total just a little bit. I think it's fine. I kind of want to just like get out of dagger range is my concern. So like if we take 3 here and then it's like Art of Dragon Fire, we're gonna go to 2. So Mass Trigger doesn't work. I always get like scared when I see that on the screen. Oh, it's pink. Wait, why did they make it? Oh, is this a bluff? Insane bluff. Okay, so we just block here. Sure, this is fine. So we 3-oak, take aim, do the stuff, and then just block here. So what is the 1 for? I guess they can like swing a dagger afterwards. Sure, that's also fine. I guess they can also like swing 2 daggers if they really wanted to, but that's also, I guess, a bit risky. May just wanted to cash in the dagger. So we could stop them from swinging another one. But I almost don't care because like we're effectively getting rid of 1 damage on their side, right? So if they would just like double swing dagger, we're kind of fine with that. This seems good for us. All right, so they're not going to swing the other one. I think makes a bit of sense. All right, let's take aim and then just heal our 3-oak. Be good. Okay, sweet. Just draw good. That easy. Alright, so we'll just discard the pre-med here. Gonna get a shark for 13. So they can actually get back Art of Dragonfire. Oh, would Art of Dragonfire kill us because they have the fealty? Ouch. So if they actually can block, oh yeah, they are gonna get it back. Maybe we should have blocked the dagger to stay out of, because we knew they were gonna codex, right? That might have been a punt. So they have 4 here. We're sending in for 13. 4, 3. So if they don't have a D react here or some way to like double block, then we win. But I think otherwise we lose, right? All right, so that was the punt, I think. We should have actually blocked with the tunic. Oh, no, we needed the tunic, though. Maybe we should have blocked with the sea lace there. I thought Cinder was playing for a lone shark kill. Oh, that's very funny. We could also... We could be playing for a lone shark kill. I think we're almost guaranteed to connect here, though. We could make a harpoon just to be safe, though. I don't think that's wrong. We can also just Arsenal it, because like the game is not going to last another turn. Like Arsenal Goldfin is like kind of fine. I think so. We did make a minor punt there by allowing that dagger to go through, because we knew that they were going to be buying back a Fire Dragonfire. So unfortunately, like we didn't get punished there for that, but like let's look at the top of the deck. So if they drew like a Sink Below or Empowerment, like we absolutely just like lose the game there. So that's a good thing to I guess keep in mind is like when you're buying back. Oh, excuse me. When you're buying back stuff with like Codex, right, and they're not an arsenal, like Art of Dragonfire with fealty is like a scary thing that they can get. So that was one thing I think I didn't think of. But hey, you're always learning, right? It seems like a lot of D-Rex on this list. Fortunately, no Warmongers, which is nice. All right, actually, let's take a look at their 1 cost. I'm kind of curious how, like, so I think our Dragonfire is the 3 of, right? And then Demonstrate also looks like it's the 3 of, and what else is the 3? Are those the only 1 costs? They are not running the Arsenal. Oh, no, they are running Hunter or Hunted. Or Hunt the Hunter. Sorry, all the cards named very similarly. And then what are... Okay, so we have another one of those. Okay, so this is just like pretty straightforward. I've seen some like a mix of 1 cost. Like I've also seen the Arsenal ones, like in the Hunt the Hunter place or whatever. I guess those ones are pretty good too. All right, let's see if we can get some more. The competitive Silver HQ calls to me. I've still been working on that Terra list, by the way. I think that Terra list is like actually really good. I did like tweak it a bit. Like I think I'm on Pummel now. Playing against a Vinny. Definitely go first. Oh, and I think you're from the stream, right? See it. And then do we want Rich? Probably May. Let's just run the Skullbone, see how it goes. So we can already start with the red fin. I kind of want to just like pass though. And this hand's pretty good, especially if we like draw another blue, then we can like catch of the day potentially. Yeah, just like pass. All right, Widespread Rune. So we do get to see, oh, Mob as well. So I kind of want to block this now. I have a yellow to turn over though. I'm not supposed to block though. So if we come in for 9, we reset the tempo, and then we also keep them off the rune chance. It's tempting. I almost do kind of like blocking out here. I don't love just letting a mob hit. Maybe catch of the day is like too important, or like the red fin catch is like better though, because we're sending 13, we're taking a bit of damage. Yeah, I do just generally like to try to punish Vinsets for setting up, but like maybe our hand's too good to do that. King Shark Banish plus 8 Painful Passage. Okay, so we don't really care. Let's Skullbone, see what we got. Golden Tip. We can save that for later, I think. Alright, let's take aim. Do the play. I think this could definitely backfire depending on our opponent's hand. And then do we want to hook? So we are a lower life total, so this is 0 block. This is 2 block, 1 block. I think it's pretty safe. Could just get owned by like double reduce or something. I think otherwise this is pretty safe. I got the copy as well. Alright, get a dirge. Pretty good. There's maybe an argument to like not even catching the day there, but I think the extra pump is worth it and sometimes does like give a pretty big punish. Alright, so we are no blocking with this hand, right? Get aggressive. Alright, and then attempt flail. Or we'll block the flail out. Alright, buff off the top. Codex is fine though. And then we have our choice between the Kraken and the Shark. I feel like I'd rather do the Shark just because I want to take cards out of their hand, like in case they vanish. Like I feel like it's more likely for them to. It's more likely for them to have more attacks in hand than non-attacks. I feel like. Definitely hooking this. Then we just get to sit on another Codex, which is nice. Okay, let's see. So coming in for 12 over. Yeah, take a peek at the hand. Alright, so we do get to take the one. Oh, maybe they're trying to cycle the attack in hand with the crown. That would have to be the what it is, right? Because like otherwise you just like block with the Deathly Whale. So maybe caught them on an unfortunate hand there. Alright, double Malefic. Yep, seems good. Skullbone. Kraken on top. It's fine for next turn at least, but we could also just like bottom it. If we want to get like full greed mode, what we could do is just like keep bottoming until we find buffs. There are a lot less buffs in this list though. So I think I'm maybe cracking like 1 gold here just to take a look. So I think we're bottom. Alright, there's a buff. Oh, no, sorry, we cannot. Hold on. Sorry, we cannot play out the Lone Shark. Or I guess we can play out the Lone Shark, but we shouldn't. So let's do this. Marlynn. So we get to Arsenal of Driook. Let's grab that King Shark back. Forcing Vincent to have an Arsenal like attack is also pretty rough for them sometimes. Alright, Runeblood Incantation gone. We're definitely hooking this, I think. Not gonna get many more hooks throughout the game, so like worst case scenario, they block it out and we lose it. It's not a big deal. The cross rep has been like kind of okay this game, honestly. What was our couple hands? Like we just had the take aim reload. I really felt like we weren't struggling for gold early, but the games that you do struggle for gold early, it's like feels real rough. Alright, so we'll take what do we want to take here? It could annihilation us, which we don't want. So I guess the better play is to just take it and then let them widespread. What do they get in Arsenal? Sorry. Missed that. They chose widespread ruin. So they're gonna double widespread ruin us, which is fine. I think we got enough life buffer where that doesn't matter as much. There we go, Beseech. So do we have a way to give this go again? Spellbound? No, Spellbound wouldn't work. I guess they could have Spellbounded the Beseech, right? If I understand my Vin setting correctly. This would get go again. They could do that off Tunic. And then they could play the other one. Or no, they can't play the other one for Arsenal because it doesn't have root, right? Okay, so yeah, the Beseech, this would do nothing, right? Yep, makes sense. So take our runes. I'm manually paying for the runes. What am I doing? Now I'm too committed. All right, coming in for 9. think we can pretty safely say no blocks here. We could also just give the Sea Lice if we wanted to, but eh. Pre-med and Shadow. Or I guess they didn't lose life, right? Okay, so they don't continue. Alright, Skullbone. Bottom that. Let's cycle a little bit of our gold first before we do the big game trophy shot. Alright, so we found our buff. So now we could cycle one more gold if we wanted to off the tunic, which I think I'm going to do. It's getting like a little bit greedy, but I want another blue here. Now we make a harpoon, trophy shot, discard it. Okay, catch is nice. I think at this point I'm not even playing the loan shark, right? I'm just going to send both of these, I think, instead. Because I want they pitch in case we like just brick off like 3 reds or something. Or like 2 reds or whatever. Yeah, good game, typo. Fire it off. I guess we could have hooked there, but whatever. Yeah, 19's pretty good. Not bad. Above average harpoon. Good game, typo. Yeah, I think that this matchup just is kind of rough. I think your version of Inset though is like really good because like it feels like the last time I played against you when we were doing the Marlynn matchup, whenever I tried to like give up tempo and just like block out a bit and like take a turn off basically to like prevent you from like having like a like keeping tempo right, it felt like you punished me like the last couple times I did that. So I basically just kind of like went more aggro this time. I don't know if that's correct, but your version of Inset seems like it's got like a lot more consistency to it, which is really interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Vincent still like even like depending on the version of Vincent, like I think it's just unfavored regardless, just because of the hero, right? But yeah. All right, let's see. Looking for the best deck in the format. That would have to be Hera, right? Let's keep doing it. Skullbone, like, God, the games when Skullbone's good, it's like really good. But the games where it's bad, it's like real bad. I wish I wish you could run this card. I wish you could run this card just like the problem is just like the quiver slot is like really bad, right? Or if there's like just some other random slot where you can make a gold, like maybe chest slot or something. I don't know. But like not having the COD gold is really rough. Alright, playing against a Riptide. This matchup is kind of rough. So we'll bring in the Authority, the Riches. Yeah, Levi's a big believer because also he has a gold foil. I think there's maybe a little bit of bias there. I just run 62 into them. I don't think I want I also don't think I really want the battery bolt or anything. Just run like this. So this matchup is like tough because they have that one card. What are the Riptide traps? I need to remember. What is that card called? It's not called Buzzsaw Trap. This is the one. This one is pretty rough. Yeah, I think it's like semi-real, the Skullbone stuff. So they loaded a Bolton shot. If we filter here, they are going to want to immediately just send the Bolton shot or whatever else they have in their hand. So I think I'm just gonna let them have that. I guess they also are on New Horizons, so maybe they weren't gonna send it right away. That's still fine. Let's take aim, and I guess we get some King Shark value. I still am like kind of okay just sending King Shark for 9 here. Yeah, well, Levi maybe is a little bit biased, just because of the gold foil. All right, Redfin on top. That's fine. I think we'll leave that on top just so we can next turn. We could have also cycled that to get like a little bit deeper towards our 3 oaks. But yeah. Expecting some number of traps here. No collapsing. Well, that one's not as good, at least. I don't mind seeing a collapsing trap. Plus the thing. So it looks like we're playing against maybe a little bit more of a defensive Riptide. I need Carrie in the chat. Carrie would be able to identify what kind of Riptide this is. Hey, we're on Crosstrap. I've been playtesting this as well, dropping the red laces and adding another Codex of Bloodrot and Riches. Yep, that's basically exactly what we're doing. I think it's okay. The only I do miss Skullbone. Or sorry, I miss Crown of Dominion sometimes. Alright, Intoxicating Shot. When it hits your hero, create Courage and a quick. Do we care about this? Not really. I think we're just gonna eat them. Like, we're already buffing our stuff anyway, so the Courage doesn't really matter, right? GG's. Matchup is one where if I miss a banish, then it's just over. The attack discard Harpoon is so brutal. Yeah, I was debating whether to send the Kraken or the attack one at you, and I'm like, well, if I take your attack out of your hand and you miss a banish, right, that seems really good. Alright, coming in with the Codex. Yeah, King Shark is cracked. This card is like nuts. This card is like so much better than the other one, right? I mean, we could just get another Courage token. Like, it doesn't really matter, but I also... I mean, I do just want to, like, hold on to the Kraken, I guess. So I guess we're just taking it. It's like a 0 for 3 if you think about the Courage tokens that way, right? Yeah, King Shark is very cracked. And so we're coming in for 12. We're going to Arsenal the other Kraken, presumably, unless they have, like, some Inertia trap or whatever. Let's bottom the Sunken for now. We don't even have that many yellows. I guess we do have that one, right? Maybe Sunken's fine, actually. I sold myself on it. King Kraken is very good at stealing my Blood Rush's bells, though, so I like it less. Fair enough, Amy. Alright, coming in for 14. Do we want to hook this? Probably not, because they're Riptide. I guess this is still kind of fine, though. I don't know. We still need to worry about Buzzsaw Trap, but, like, this isn't that big a Harpoon, so Buzzsaw Trap might not even be that good. It's, like, fine. Oh yeah, Tear Limb is another one that I think some brutes are running. I don't know if it's like... I've seen it... Where have I seen Tear Limb from? Oh, Boulder Trap, okay. This version of Riptide is very confusing to me, because the Bolton shots seem to be at odds with the... Like, this almost looks like a hybrid Riptide between, like, the more, like, aggro-focused Riptide and the more, like... Oh, we just get a Codex out of them. That's pretty good. I think we'll take a Codex. Yeah, the 2 for 8s, it's also really good with, right? I think we're just taking the Codex here just because it's annoying. And they can already, like, bolt and shot us anyways. I think this might just be kind of a blockout hand. Ooh, Deadeye. Alright, so lots of buffs. But they don't have an aim counter. Yeah, so this is functionally just yellow 1 for 3. So we're coming in for 12. We can block 12, and we also make a gold. I don't want to just do that. So I think I will. Seems like a pretty decent just throw your hand in front of a turn. It's like, what's the Riptide gonna do? They draw like 2 traps and then like a random Bolton shot or something, right? And they can't really crack back. And we also make like a gold out of that, so I feel like that also is a really good argument for just blocking there. Just take a turn off. I feel like that's something that new players maybe don't understand. Is like how good taking a turn off is. Like, it's kind of really nice in some decks to just throw your hand in front of something. Alright, we're getting Stone Rain. So, in this case, I guess we're not really getting that rewarded for, like, taking a turn off, but it's still just, like, 7 damage. I think it's still fine. What do we want to give them? Do they get their what is it? They banish face down I get to choose the card, right? So in that case, I just choose. What do I choose here? I guess we can choose like the Codex of Blood Rod and just like arsenal that, right? Then we can just like potentially I here as well. Some decisions. I think we block with the Codex of Blood Rot. Let them take the other one, and then we're just gonna I and set up our draw for next turn or something. This is fine. Get rid of that. There's also maybe an argument if you wanted the extra block value, we could have just used Tunic instead or something. I think is reasonable. The one thing we could also do here is we could crack gold with I, and we'd be looking for 2 blues. Or like we'd be looking for like blue buff as like ideal scenario. Oh, okay. So this is really interesting. So if we keep that on top, we draw into it. So I think we do top this, right? We top this. So we crack a gold, we go to 1 floating, and then we can Tunic, pitching the Eye of Ophidia. So we need a blue on top in order for this to fully work. But then we would be able to send 14 and then also arsenal the Blood Rod on the back end of it. So I think this is still worth it, right? So we crack gold. We crack the gold first, right? We don't pitch the Eye on this, and then we use the Eye for the trophy shot so that we're guaranteed to draw blue. Or not guaranteed, but like basically guaranteed to try to draw blue. I think this is risky, but I think it works. I'm not discounting horribly. To do this, we go to 1 floating, or we go to 2 floating. We draw the blue. We also have a 3 oak on top. So both of these are good. So this is a perfect opt. We then discard this. We draw the blue. Yeah, it's perfect. A little bit of interesting sequencing there. I've also not played with Eye of Ophidia in a very long time just because Tegan's stolen it. But it's nice to play with Eye again. Eye is just such a broken card. I think I am. I'm thinking no. I don't think we're gonna hook this. I think we're just gonna send the Kraken here. Because like they still have the Buzzsaw trap, so like hooking is still pretty risky. It's like I could see an argument for it. I don't know. Alright, what we got here? So we got Seek and Destroy, Lace with Blood Rot, Deadeye. I feel like we should leave. Wait, what does their weapon do again? Hold on. K1, you put an arrow from your hand face up at your arsenal. So if they don't have Tunic up, so if we take the yellow, they might not actually have like an efficient way to load, and then they might have to like pitch a buff. I guess we'll take the Deadeye there. Do you think a playset of every Silver Age card would cost more or less than a single Riches of Triple Donny? That's interesting. Probably do the math on that. Depends like if you're talking about like foil playset or like non-foil playset. I feel like a foil playset would probably be more. But I think if you're talking about like non-foils, then less, I think, right? Oh, you're right. Riptide does load. Whenever you play a card from hand, you may put a card from your hand face down into your arsenal. Okay, so yeah, I guess they don't really care about the barbed. So I guess in that case, or maybe they are still gonna barbed. Well, they have a face down card. They interesting. I guess in retrospect, it was still correct to take the pitch card, maybe? They turn that face up, they load the Bolton shot, they send the Bolton shot. I guess they still ended up having. I don't know. I feel like I don't know enough about like how the Riptide decks are composed to whether or not taking the pitch card there was correct. Because they still had to end up burning this face up, right? Or yeah, because they already had something in Arsenal, right? So I think my rationale was wrong, but I think it still ended up being correct because we got them to pitch the lace. And now they can't fire this, which is also nice. I don't know. Riptide's weird. Don't judge me. It's fine. Okay, so Bolton shot. We actually ordered the Seek and Destroy effect, right? So with the Ponder. Wrong formula, right? Yes, exactly. SOS. That's the perfect way to describe it. I think also like there's hidden information, right? There's some hidden information there where it's like we didn't know that they were sitting on a murky. So like if they have a card that they want to pitch for that they don't want to pitch for, then like maybe that's wrong. I don't know. All right, but let's go ahead and Skull Bone here. Let's try to look for like a buff. I think what we're looking for in this hand. Another 3-oak. Hate pitching 3-oaks. It could be right. So one other thing we could do is we could double 3-oak here, but I feel like that's not even that good. So I think I'm supposed to just bottom this. Feels bad. We could also ponder into a 3-oak for next turn. But the problem then is that like we're not playing the golden tip then. Yeah, it probably comes down to do they have a buff or an arrow in Arsenal? Yeah, I think that's correct. So CNC will they have to put a trap in Arsenal. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's bottom the 3-oak for now because we don't want to draw into it. Let's gold the tip. We do also have the codex so we can like load the codex safely. And if we just find a random big arrow, then we can fire that instead. Okay, so there's our random big arrow. So, it's like risky here though. So if we codex a blood rot, we could theoretically put codex a blood rot to catch the day, but I think that's probably wrong. I think the better play actually might be to codex the loan shark in just to like get a bunch of gold going, and then we can crack a gold to load the king shark, and that's guaranteed to go through. So I think I like this more. They will also have to put a card face down in Arsenal, I think, because they have an empty Arsenal slot. So let's Loan Shark now. Cycle the golds. And then we just fire this off now. Or we can also fire this off. Which is better between the Kraken and the King Shark? I feel like they're less likely to want to load buffs. I actually kind of feel like it's the Kraken here, right? Because I've shown that they're on some number of like buffs and attacks, right? Okay, let's load the Kraken and see how that works out for us. I don't know which is correct in this case scenario. I feel like there's a strong argument for Kraken though, and we do get a free hook here as well. All right, we're still hoping to not get Buzzsaw trapped here. But we do at least have the Ponder Seek and Destroy, so we're kind of still getting an Arsenal anyways, which is nice. Not too bad. I think this was a good turn. I think if we just found like a buff, it would have been a little bit better. Because we are pitching a lot of good cards. Like we pitch a 3-oak, we pitch a Codex, which feels bad. Alright, so we already got Kraken value, which is nice. So maybe this still is correct choice. Yeah, the King Kraken Harpoon would kill momentum. I think I agree with that. Gotta point the tip out of them. So we're getting them to functionally 1 year. They will have the murky water. They have enough traps for that though. They have 1, 2. They only have 2 traps, so they can't even do the murky yet. Oh, you get another point to tip? Okay. Rewarded for sending Kraken. Nice, nice. I guess the Bolton shot also would have been fine, right? Because we take their pitch card. I guess they can just like block with it then. I don't know. So I want theirs to go first. Okay, perfect. Yeah, the double point the tip was kind of a big hit. Alright, so it's Deadeye, Tunic. At least the nice part here is they don't have the traps to get back, right? Because this requires you to have 3 traps, right? When this hits, you may banish 3 face-down traps from your graveyard. So since they don't, it's not like an optional thing. They like have to find a trap for it. Alright, so coming in for 10. I mean, our hand sucks, which is nice. Like, we just get to like let them hit, right? So they get to take, look at their hand, choose a card, they discard it. So this is fine. We just let them do that. And then we just murder scrabble. They go to 1. Probably just kill him with a Goldfin at that point, right? Yeah. Take whichever shitty blue out of my hand you want. I don't care. We could still die to, like, Riptide Pings at some point. Maybe we should be blocking with armor a little bit, but, like, I don't think they're that trap heavy. Maybe, like, decently trap heavy. I don't know. Which crappy blue do you want to take? I guess Catch of the Day, I guess, maybe makes the most sense if they have, like, an unknown arsenal. Not get back any traps, unfortunately. So put them to 1. I mean, Riptide is still at 1, which is a bit scary. Oh, but we get the Skullbone Murderous Rabble, which is why I put these in here, totally. I forgot that this was even a thing you can do. Hi, am I winning? I don't know. I'm not confident. Like, maybe we're winning. I could just have, like, triple trap and then I die or something. And even then, I guess I'm not dying. I don't know. I think we are probably winning. This is an only winning stream. Let's gold. Alright, dig for some action. That's not action. At some point, we're gonna make a Goldfin, but I'd rather just like do a gravy turn. Alright, another Rabble. Not helpful. Alright, we got like one more look, I think. So at this point, I think we just send a Goldfin, right? Yeah. Send a Goldfin, maybe like just Murderous Rabble just for some questionable value. Oh, we got a Bluefin. Sure. We'll do that instead, I guess. No, we just Arsenal this. Sure. I guess we're losing value, whatever. It's fine. Could have also like sent the Goldfin this turn. Yeah, it's better. I don't think it matters. I guess we can also just like discard too. Oh, we should. Whatever. We're hooking this, but it doesn't matter. Maybe Riptide like sigils the solaces and then I connect with it or something. I think it's probably just kills, unless they have the Buzzsaw, which we have not seen yet. So very likely they could actually have the Buzzsaw here. They still need to block something else, right? I find it interesting how you main Marlynn, Tegan mains Gravy. Puffin's all that missing. Wilson plays Puffin. That's why Wilson's so sad, because he loses. Oh, they do have the Buzzsaw, no! Yeah, I guess Goldfin does protect against Lone, but I feel like I'd rather maybe Arsenal the blue. I don't know. It's close, I guess. Oh, I got Pitfall Trap too. All right, so we're not totally lethal. So we will pay the 1. I guess this kind of still works out though. Problem is we're gonna go to no gold. So I almost just want to take the damage off the Lone Shark. And just send a big harpoon because we don't know if we're gonna have a guaranteed way to load, right? So we should just Arsenal this, I think. I guess how many loads do we have left? We have 3 Oka Codex that we pitched. We have 1 more Codex still in the deck. Or no, I think we have. We pitched 2 Codexes or 1 Codex? I can't remember. I think I'm supposed to just eat the damage here off the loan though. Yeah, I think it's fine. Alright, so we did draw a Codex, but I guess we weren't like guaranteed to draw it. Maybe we were guaranteed and I just like wasn't keep track of the stack though. Alright, Skullbone value. That's actually good, right? They don't have Buzzsaw anymore. They could 5 trap us. Be rough. So we discard. I think we're just gonna go for the kill here. So we discard the Codex, keep the pre-med, fire it off. Could definitely still kind of kill us here. Riptide is a trooper. All right, we need them to like not draw a trap heavy hand. Just give me like a action heavy hand, and I think we're good here. And we still, I guess, do have Tunic in case they end up having like another Pitfall Trap or whatever. Probably should have blocked with our armor like a little bit earlier. I don't know. It's still fine though. I think they were also at 1 when we lost the hook, right? So hook doesn't really matter. I do like seeing the New Horizons block, unless they do have like a D-React here. Does the New Horizon trigger before we go to do reacts? New Horizons gets destroyed at the end of the combat chain, so they can still react here if they want to from Arsenal. And there's Sync. Yep. How's the list feeling? It feels okay. Like, I think that, like, you're gonna feel the lack of gold a lot more in certain matchups than, I guess, like, I feel like Verdance and Syndra are the matchups where I would miss the gold the most, I feel like. I don't know. Boulder Trap. We still have a bit of armor to work with here, so we're not, like, dead. But unfortunate, I guess. I feel like the opt is always worth having. Not always, like, I don't know. The opt is, like, okay. The only issue with the opt is, like, I'm actually kind of curious why they put it there, because I guess now I'm not incentivized to block with this, which means we get, like, additional value, potentially, but probably not, because we're kind of nearing it. I don't know. Like, losing the starting gold is, like, a very big deal in certain matchups. So it feels like. Yeah, no Dominion is a hard thing to. I feel like Gravy just has like such an easier time like making gold though, right? I guess we do end up getting some Skullbone value here though. We also get to make a Blood Rot, which could be good. Skullbone. All right, we need to avoid the quad trap here. Drill Shot is whatever. We'll get. Like, it does make the Ponders a lot better for what it's worth. All right, we're still playing around Pitfall at least, which is nice. So we don't die immediately to just like Pitfall plus like one other trap. It's like okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's still like my preference, but there are like a lot of games where like you'll find the early gold generation and the Skullbone like won't matter, right? And then you just like you just like keep finding your reload stuff. It's like more of an insurance policy against the deck itself, right? Like it feels like you're removing consistency to like add some extra like information value or whatever. I'd say folder. I feel like we're hitting a little bit of like an unfortunate series of draws from them, or they're just like having the trap heavy hands. Like I feel like they drew like very non-trap heavy earlier on. Splutter Up might do some work though. Brioke's never bad. Alright, we can fortunately like so they have like assuming they have a blue in hand, they have like 2 cards to work with here. So Riptide is like staying alive though. They've been on 1 for like 3 turns, right? Very funny. Yeah, but it is kind of funny that Tegan likes gravy. I think it's probably because it's scratching like a similar Kano itch, which I think is like kind of why like Marlyn feels. People like don't understand this comparison, but Marlyn does feel a lot like Zen. Um, okay, this is perfect for us, right? Because they have blue here, they discard it. They just want to get rid of the lineup, so they discard Intoxicating Shot. Okay. So we now Skull Bone, see what's up. Alright. Other bluefin is. Okay, I guess we're just 3-oaking here, right? No real decision to be made. The extra gold here is nice for what it's worth, but I just want to kill them. Alright, lots of cards. I guess we're just sending it. Yeah, it feels like Tegan can maybe talk more about this, maybe at some point, but like it does feel like Kano as a deck did change fundamentally after like the tome ban and stuff. Like feels like the deck is just like not the same as it once was, right? So like I can understand like going to Gravy because like Gravy feels like he's doing like a very broken thing, kind of like similar to like the Kano stuff, right? Um, maybe that's kind of like why a lot of Kano players have like moved over to Gravy. All right, do not triple trap me here, or I will rage quit. Hi Aurora, happy to finally catch a Flesh and Bad stream live. Question: why did you take out the swell? Is Gravy dealt with in other ways? So Swell's interesting. The problem with Swell is really just like, all right. So let's talk about like the Gravy matchup, like in theory, right? So in theory, what you're supposed to do in the Gravy matchup is okay. So we won. Fortunately, let's talk about the Gravy matchup real quick. So let me go back to like one of my other decks. I'll maybe kind of talk about this a little bit more. So let's go to, I think it's this one, right? So this is the one I brought to like the last PQ. If you look at the Gravy matchup, I don't know if I corrected this. Okay, I think this looks probably mostly correct. But anyways, what I was trying to do with the Gravy matchup is like do Crown of Province going first and then Crown of Dominion going second, basically. And the idea for that matchup is you basically want to beat them to death as quickly as possible before they're, because like the longer the game goes on, like the worse it is for you because they'll find like chums, they'll put up a bunch of allies that you don't can't deal with realistically. So one of the ways that you could deal with like Swell is more so for very specific allies. So Swell is really good at clearing like Inca. It's really good at clearing Sawbones. It's really good at clearing. It's decent to clear like Rigor Mortis because you just get like you don't have to worry about like Fearless and stuff like that. So Swell is like decent, right? But the problem is with like Fearless Confrontation in particular, if you're like sending Swell for 3 out of Sawbones, it can just like kind of still live anyways, right? Like so you're not actually guaranteed to kill a Sawbones with a Swell. The theory as to why I originally had the Swells in the deck before was because like basically I brought that card in as like a high roll card into certain matchups, right? So Swell is a high roll card. If you hit off the top of Swell, you're gaining like what? You're getting an extra 3 resources, which is insane. So this basically becomes like a -2 for 3 if you think about it, because you're hitting a blue off the top. So in matchups where you need to high roll them, you can bring in Swell, and then you just have like, oh, I just have this like random high roll chance that if I hit off Swell, then I win the game, right? So that was the theory behind Swell. It's like you bring Swell into matchups like Kasai, where you can like clear a dude, and then just like high roll off the top, and then you sometimes are a little bit more favored in the matchup. You can bring it into Gravy, obviously, to like help clear Sawbones, because like one of there's another win con that Gravy kind of has where they get like 2 or 3 Sawbones out, and then every turn you're taking -3, like every turn you're dealing -3 damage, and that feels really bad. So like Swell was also kind of insurance against that. The reason why I've taken out the Swells is just because like I wanted to try other things in like I think it's still like a reasonable card. I wanted to basically try other things in the Gravy, and one of the things I've been trying recently is like Crown of Province. So Crown of Province basically can stuff a Conqueror turn, which is like Conqueror is like one of their best cards against us, basically. So if you throw Crown of Province in front of it, it basically like can stifle their kind of like gold generation. It also like lets you keep like a 5-card hand, basically. So that was the idea behind Crown of Province. I think I'm still experimenting with it, so I'm not like fully sold on it. But that's at least like one thing I've been trying. But it does mean that you're also like sacrificing a bit of tempo. But if you're going first, then that you feel that a lot less. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Gravy matchup. Also, one thing to note about the Gravy matchup that I think we did in our original videos, like we were originally running Tarpon Trap into Gravy, but I think now the data has basically shown. I think Taylor or Ben were basically looking at like Fab Blazing data or whatever. And the win rate for Tar Pit Trap into Gravy specifically has gone like is very bad. So like don't actually run this card into Gravy. I don't think it's like actually all that good. It only stops Conqueror, and like you have to line it up on Conqueror, and then if you draw it any other time, it's like really bad. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Gravy matchup. Like, I think I don't know. I wish there was like a better card for Gravy than like the Swells and the Drop the Anchors and stuff, because it still feels like very overwhelming to deal with. Just like if they get an early chum out, it's just like kind of over at that point, which is rough. Like basically, the way I think like Taylor described the win rate for the Gravy matchup is like once they see that, like you're favored until they see the first chum, and then after they see the first chum, which they have 6 copies of the deck with Call to the Grave, you're basically like unfavored after that point. Like you're like 30% to win or something like that. So it's really interesting. I don't know. The matchup I don't think is like that bad, but it's definitely very swingy. And one of the things I guess I've experimenting with that matchup the most, because I think there's a lot to I guess try to like try new things and stuff like that. I know a lot of people have also had like success with like Endless Arrow into Gravy, which I think is good, but against like better Gravies, like it just like doesn't work. So I don't know. Lots of thoughts on the Gravy matchup, but let's go ahead and grab some more games. But yeah, I think that's overall like my thoughts on that matchup. I loved pre-ban Kano. Stacking was a lot. Yeah, that they did kind of remove like the most fun part about Kano, right? Which is the stacking. I kind of feel like this deck. I like this deck because it is like kind of a stacking deck. All right, let's go first. Oh, we're not. Hold on, we're running the wrong deck. My bad. Let's grab our other deck. We gotta try out Skullbone today. I guess we already played against a KO, right? We can try to play against Gravy. We are just talking about it, so we want to go. What do we want to do in this matchup? I think we still want to go first. Oh, we're playing against Amy. Hello. So we're not running Dominion. I think we're just supposed to run. Let's try running Crown of Province and see how it goes. Let's bring our Gravy board. All right, let's see how this goes. We're leaving real quick. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. My bad. Let's go. Let's do CC then. All right. KO. Oh, I hate this matchup. It's fine. Just like boring. I don't know. I can take it or leave it, but I guess we'll play it out. So we want the drops in this matchup. Definitely want the riches. Yataya. And what are we cutting? We need a bunch of cuts. So let's cut the. All right, give them a good luck. Have fun while I think. Skullbone. What are we cutting in this matchup for the drops? I also just not cut the drops, but maybe reduce something like this. We get like a rabble or two. Maybe something like this. Let's run like 61 and see how that feels. I don't know. This is more of a vibe sideboard than anything. Archaea seems a bit like Ira 2. Yeah, real. One complaint I have about like some of the recent hero designs is that it feels like there's a lot of overlap with the already existing hero designs. Like Ira feels very similar in terms of like maybe it's just like a mid-range slot problem. But it does kind of feel like it's just a very similar deck to like Ira, right? I think I'm probably supposed to conserve a little bit of life here. I do obviously want to keep just the entire hand here, but I think saving 7 life is probably worth it. Oh, you went 7-1 last weekend at the PQ. Nice. That's top 4, top 2, something like that. That's pretty sick. What list were you using? Out of curiosity. Okay, what are we doing here? Did I actually want to go first in this matchup? Maybe I did. At least I'm kind of regretting it now. I guess we quiver. This is so awkward. I guess we do get the riches for what it's worth. Oh, okay. That's fine. I guess we can just throw the hook on this. So I guess quiver saves us there. Maybe we were supposed to hold on to 3 oak. Maybe the 2 damage for the 3 oak was actually worth it. I never know if that's like correct though. I feel like I find myself blocking with 3 oak on turn 1, maybe more than I should. I mean, we should just be holding on to it. Oh, top 2 with Marlynn. Nice. I also got a top 2 with Marlynn. Deck is pretty. I think the deck is good personally, especially at like the ProQuest level. Alright, got shelter. Fine. Lots of buffs on the bottom. This hand's good though. Assuming we get to keep it. Yeah, but congrats on the top 2. I lost my top 2 to Verdance, which was a little bit rough. That matchup's still like pretty doable. Alright, we got Scabs hit. This is scary. I love the deck, but I really want another red harpoon. Me too. Oh, alright, just looking for scrap for 4. Sure. I guess they still have action point after this. But can't complain, I guess, about losing the +1. Right, and a swing big to follow up. We could just like ditch the catch of the day. I think that's probably wrong. I don't want to like arsenal in the blue. Like I think keeping an arsenal with the skullbone is pretty important. So I think I'm like pitching the catch of the day in the eye and then like arsenaling bluefin, drop the anchor. Yeah, I think everyone really wants another red harpoon. LSS should collab with Balatro and release the 5-out card. That'd be sick. I'd be down. I feel like Balatro, like we like, actually, do I want this? Yeah, I probably do. Just we could draw into it. Play it this turn. Yeah, I'm just still sending here. Those are 2 fine ops, I think. Yeah, I think most people really want another red harpoon. I feel like that would definitely be pretty decent for the deck, just like something to replace the battering bolts. Alright, Redfin Harpoon, I imagine it's probably not hitting here. If we hit with a tap, it could be good. So it looks like they have maybe block card plus 3 block or something. Yeah, Marlynn still needs a little bit of help. Like, it feels like she's particularly soft to Warmongers in a way that doesn't feel like you can meaningfully check for it. Alright, if we get some armor here, I'm kind of okay with this. Still hitting for 1. I want another yellow harpoon. True. Okay, take it on the chin, I guess, makes sense. Alright, so this is not that bad. Pretty decent red fin. On that eye. The Mockingblood. I feel like that Scabs roll was really, really bad for us. Like, getting extra 4 damage there is pretty rough. Unlucky. Yeah, this matchup sucks. We got Tunic? It's a Tunic. Oh, okay. Just for K. Okay. Not that bad. Not that bad, I say, as I'm at like half my life total. And they're still at 40. Hopefully we can try to reverse that a little bit here. Alright, Codex, do I want this or do I not want this? The one thing we could do is we could draw the Codex. Problem is we don't even have like a good harpoon to get yet back, so I think we're just bottoming that. I guess we could have guaranteed the trophy shot value, but we still kind of have it guaranteed here. Maybe we shouldn't have bottomed that Codex. I'm thinking about because like guaranteeing a yellow here means we get to save the Tunic, which could be relevant. I don't know. I think this hook is. I think we need to start hooking, otherwise we're kind of losing, right? So 15, I think, is probably safe enough. We have 5 armor here. They need like 2 D-Reacts plus another card. I think it's fine. This is one of those matchups that just feels so rough, though. We still got some armor to work with, so we're not like that out of it. I guess they've used a couple points of armor. There's a couple D-reacts. We can like get like 1 or 2 hits with a harpoon. I think this game maybe looks a little bit closer. Maybe we also should have just held on to the 3 oak in the opener and just taken an extra 3. Maybe that was a minor punt. All right, we do connect here though. All right, so life totals are evening out a little bit. All right, so Nimby, Mocking Blow. Does it matter what we take here? I guess we should take the Nimby, right? Because they can maybe do some stuff with that. They do have the bigger token, so they can like maybe send 6 in the arsenal. So I'd rather them just like play the swing big out. I also hate overpower as a mechanic. Yeah, Marlynn hates to see soup on the other side of the table. True. Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, I think like the fundamental problem with Marlynn is just like overpower as a mechanic is not very good. Like if overpower was like better, it'd be nice. I think I'm just taking. I think I'm just like gonna cash in the gold value here. We have a yellow, right? So let's net a little bit more gold. And I think we're just doing a King Shark turn next turn. Give Marlynn access to confidence is the way to go. Yeah, that'd be sick. Thematically maybe doesn't make sense, but mechanically could make sense. I think like overpower was designed during a time when D-React slop was not as, but I guess D-React slop was like semi-prevalent, right? Yeah, let's try to get a good ponder token here. I don't know. It's like what I really wish they had on certain things. Catch of the day. Almost makes me want to gamble. But it's probably safer to just bottom it. Like we could gamble off the we have enough gold where we can start like maybe pumping, but I maybe want like 1 or 2 more turns. I think I'm just supposed to take the safe line here. Marlynn is a girl boss. It's close enough. Oh, true. Oh, for confidence. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Overpower +4 versus confidence plus. Oh, like on a bow. That'd be kind of interesting. Sorry, where are we? We're not supposed to hook this. Right? Yeah, we're not medical. Okay. All right, King Shark, save me. Just errata hammerhead to say if it has harpoon in the name, it gets this can't be defended by more than 2 non-block cards, or I don't know, dominate. I feel like the biggest issue that Marlynn has is just dealing with decks with a high density of D-Reacts. Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like the counterplay into just like run all the D-Reacts is not super compelling. And also like what an interesting. So there's a very interesting design principle they've been going with lately, which is so you know how like hand disruption was like pretty rampant for a while, right? Like we had Bonds of Agony going wild, we have like Market of Black Widow, stuff like that. Like it felt like there was like a lot of like hand disruption in the game. I guess like pummel for lack of a better word. So one of the ways that I think they've been designing around hand disruption has been like making a bunch of like instant speed stuff, right? So like you have like Fruits of the Forest, you have what am I thinking? Like the instant speed aura is just like lots of like instants and stuff, right? So I don't. It feels very weird to like play as a deck where you're trying to be like disruptive, right? And then your opponent just like discards their hand and it's like, okay, like it feels like a very weird design choice, right? To have like a bunch of decks that can functionally just like get rid of their hand to like deal with like disruption. I don't know. It's weird. Not even D-Reacts, Huntsman and Mario being able to block with reacts can make overpower not do. Yeah, like it's not even the D-Reacts, right? It's also attack reacts as well. All right, we are looks like getting a bit of tempo here. All right, we discard the flex strength too. Not bad. It sucks with flesh bag. I think we still arsenal it. Rotten remains. What does this do? I mean, what does this do for them? I guess so you can finish a nippy or something. Okay. I don't think we care about this. Oh, they're not even gonna manage anything. This is gonna get real awkward real quick. I think we're still sea lacing though. I think we're just gonna sea lace and just say YOLO. And if they hit, like, there are certain cards they can hit which are really bad. But we're still gonna do it. Maybe we shouldn't have arsenal the sleep dart, but I think it's still worth the risk. I don't know. Yeah, and Warriors got even more A reacts and D reacts, yeah. It feels like Overpower was not really designed with Warriors and Assassins in mind, is what it feels like to me. I don't know. I feel like Overpower should be... How would I reword Overpower to make it better? I'm really glad they didn't flashback us here. We also need some excuse to start using this gold. Maybe I should have started cracking some gold a little bit earlier. Because now we're just like sitting on a pile and it feels kind of silly. Like maybe that one turn where we sent the King Shark for 10, we should have actually just like cracked a bit of gold and got a little risky with it. So this is coming in for 13. I mean, we already have so much gold that we don't really need to fuck this. It's probably fine. How would I reword Overpower to be better? I feel like maybe have it be like one action and also one reaction would be kind of interesting. Like you can only block with one action, one reaction. Because then like it makes block cards fine. Like I think block cards should be able to block harpoons, right? But like hitting like 2D reacts on a harpoon feels like it's like pretty rough. I don't know. I feel like that would make it a little bit. Maybe it's too good though. Maybe like one action, one reaction from hand or something. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe not those exact words. Like maybe one action from hand, one reaction from hand would be kind of interesting. Because then that also lets you like Arsenal D react against Marlynn, and then you can still like kind of do double react. All right, we're stealing the tempo here really hard, which is nice. All right, so this is gonna be a hand where we're gonna crack some gold. First, we need a better quiver. There are no real good. I think rustling leaves is kind of like just a filler card. I kind of agree with you. Having a quiver that also like deals with warmongers would also be really nice. Just having like maybe just like a gold quiver would be like people always say the gold quiver, but I think that would actually help a lot. Let's start cracking a bit. I think gold quiver would help a lot. I think what else would help? Tank kind of sucks. Salvage. I have like a yellow I can get rid of. Not really. Get the trophy shot. But yeah, having some quiver that like gets around warmongers would also be nice. Like maybe just like swap a card, like the honing hood effect on a quiver. I don't even think that would be that strong. Maybe it would be like a little strong, but like fine for Ranger to have a strong card, right? But and just I think we're gonna just send this out just so we can get a random arsenal. Didn't make a gold, so we get to hook. All right, life totals are evening out a bit. We got them from like 40 to 17 to 19 to 10. That's really good. Oh yeah, or reactions have -1 defense on like I think that on like a buff would also be really good. Like I don't want to. So the problem with Marlynn, right, is I don't want to make her in a way that you cannot interact with her. Like I want her to be like very back and forth, right? Like decks should have a way to interact with Marlynn. I guess the question is like, how do you make the interaction feel meaningful for both players, right? And like I guess a way to do that would be to like limit the number of D reacts, or to have some way for me to play around the D reacts that gives me a little bit more agency than just like, my opponent had it, right? I don't know. I guess that's maybe what I would change, is just like there's something like just a little bit off with like how I'm able to interact with people, I guess. Or like how I'm able to interact with other decks. It feels like they like the block decks, or like the decks that just have very high defenses, just have a lot more agency. Pirate Heart of Ice, yeah, that'd be great. They already printed Pirate Heart of Ice, but it's generic. It's a tie, right? That'd be cool though. Or Fate. So we're on. This is like actually the D-React pile I'm talking about, right? So we're on, I think, all 3 D-Reacts, it seems like. Alright, we do get to at least land the hook, though. Can't complain about that. Take the looking. They have a show of strength in Arsenal, so they can play that. Alright, we're not in bad shape. So drill shot's basically free, kind of. We just can't block with Sea Lice yet. I think I'm gonna actually just get rid of this Kraken, because it gives us like 4 block here, which is nice. We can also get rid of the hook if we want to. I guess there's no real incentive to block with the hook, just like right the second though. Like, maybe we'll just take our 4 block. I actually really like cards like Show of Strength, because like it feels rewarding to block this card. Like if you block it with just like a harpoon or whatever. I don't know. They've printed like a lot of really good designs. Like I think Show of Strength is actually like I would consider a pretty good design. They also had like some stinkers lately. I don't know. Me, it's not even like they've had like I think what is the biggest stinker they probably printed? Like Shelter, I think is like a terrible thing to have in the game. Like overall, they've done a pretty decent job. All right, Jolt Shot kind of gets tunic value or gets a card in hand, right? I feel like the direct piles are overrepresented in Talishar. There's no way you bring 9 Directs with Burdens of Gravy in the meta. That's true. That's a good point. Super Slam, I think, was the best designed cards for a lot of characters and classes. I think they're doing a pretty good job in Super Slam. Right, so get rid of the tunic. The other problem is like Super Slam heroes are kind of in the. So I will say there are, I think, some exceptions to that. I think RKO's not super compelling. I know people like him, but I don't know. Playing like 90 like it's kind of just like it's kind of like block slop, right? It's kind of like our terror list that we were playing earlier this week. Let's close the chain. I think we're just gonna fish for some blues here. It's kind of like block slop. Okay, what is this hand? We could just send a baby harpoon, or we could. We did bottom a 3 oak at one point, so we don't even have like an out towards drawing a 3 oak. What else could we do with this hand? Draw another blue. Does that help us? Not really. I think we're actually just like cracking a gold just to send like a 9 King Shark or whatever. Oh, you meant leaving the YouTube stream. Oh, I'm sorry, Amy. I forgot. Oh, that's my bad. Were you waiting in the game for me? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's on me. I thought you meant you didn't want to play because you were watching the stream. My bad. Let's go ahead and grab the King Shark here. Yeah, we're like 75% way through the RKO game, which is hilarious. I hope you were waiting that long. Did it show I was like still in the lobby or something? Oh, interesting. Okay. So this card a big bully. I guess we get some skullbone value here as well. How many codexes have we seen? We played a codex. I think we pitched a codex next to a 3 oak similarly. So I think we still have like one more codex in the deck. So I think I'm gonna bottom the red friend for now. We also have like a ton of gold. And then we're just sending it with the King Shark. I played against Acilio and then got sleepy. Okay, gotcha. This is like fine here though. Life totals are definitely pretty even at this point. Tough Nut has been a lot of fun. So I actually really like Tough Nut's design. The only problem with Tough Nut that I have is just like hero overlap, right? Like, I feel like Tough Nut fills a very similar role in the meta to like. I guess my main problem is like all the mid range heroes feel very similar, right? Like I guess like Ira, like Tough Nut feels kind of just like Ira for lack of a better word, or like I'm trying to think what other heroes kind of like a mid range pile, like RKO, kind of as well. Um, I don't know. It feels like there's a lot of like mid range overlap right now. Um, it's just weird. I guess maybe the mid range heroes all feeling very similar. Is maybe just a problem with just like how many direct like feels like there's a lot of like direct overlap. Maybe not in Tough Nut, but like in Ira, for instance, like I think there are a lot of Ira lists that are running like direct heavy piles. Tough Nut is super well. That's a good point. I think like Tough Nut as a hero is designed super well, but he's kind of more of like a deck building problem than a play problem, right? Like there are certain heroes where like the deck building is a lot more interesting than the actual like playing of the hero. Like Syndra, I think kind of falls in that category where like the play experience is kind of whatever. Like I guess Syndra does feel like pretty fun because you just high roll the fuck out of people, right? But like Tough Nut, for instance, it's like you just swing rock every turn, kind of, and then sometimes you don't swing rock, and it's like, oh, um, I think rock is just boring. Bring club and bring them good runs, roll to win. Yeah, that's probably a fair point. I don't know. I don't know where Tough Nut builds have landed, but I feel like the rock builds, at least the last time I checked, were more compelling. I don't know. I think Tough Nut's super interesting. It's just like, oh, we also get a second Thunder here. It does just feel like there's a lot of redundancy between certain heroes. All right, we discard their Nimby as well. All right, it's looking pretty good for us. So, okay, we drew. Oh, I think we're at stack. Or are we at stack? No. I thought we pitched a 3 oak earlier on. Am I just imagining things? So what are we doing here? Block 3, block 2, block 3. Then we're just gonna give up on the armor here just to cash it in. Yeah, just block him with this. I think this is not my guaranteed. The Ataya definitely helps a lot. So let's start with the skull bone. So we're looking for buffs and arrows. That's a buff. Leave that on top. Draw into it.
I love the comment about latent auxilio particles type and
Oh, wait. Did I miss that?
yeah, the latent auxilio hater particles Keegan planted into me activating when I see the words auxilio and sleep.
Oh, that's very funny.
Oh, it's good. Wow.
It's a top. Your Cilio hatred is spread far and wide.
Eventually, my hatred, like the game, it will be consumed by auxilio hatred. No one will like the hero anymore.
Yeah, Ashura Maru. Yeah, I think we're trying to play without. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Trying to play without crown and just trying to do cross rep instead is the goal for today. So let's cycle a little bit more gold. I think we're trying to find one more blue, and then we just send the blue fin. If we don't find a blue, we find like a. Okay, I was about to say that if we find a big red harpoon, then we also just send that instead. I don't actually know how many big red harpoons were left in the deck. I guess we had 2. Yeah, works out. It's a nice little 16 overpower with a tie on it as well. Feels pretty good. But yeah, the latent Acilio particle hatred is hilarious. I don't know, the cross rep's not felt like. I think the first 2 games of the stream it felt pretty rough, but maybe those are just like worn up games, or maybe it just got rolled. Both of which are possible, I guess. But connect there, okay. Yeah, not bad. How many Directs? I guess they just like didn't see them, so they had 2 sync blows left. They had 1 shelter. How many fates? 2 fates as well. So we were okay. This is actually like the Direct pile KO. Or yeah. So Oasis as well. Overcrowded Sigil. So I think they just got kind of bad variance here. Like we kind of just rolled them because they just drew not enough of their Directs. They only drew 4 out of 9. It feels like. Okay, so I mean, yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you just like draw bad. Yeah. Aggro decks are way more boring to me. I think there are certain aggro decks that are fun. Maybe this. Let's talk like Fab Hero design for a second. Because I feel like they've done like High Seas was a really good set for like it felt like the heroes in high seas. What I really like about this game, in particular, like why I'm playing like Marlynn and like why I like Zen in particular, is it does feel like the like sure like the turns are sometimes like very linear, but sometimes you have like awkward turns where you have to like figure out what the best way to like play it is, right? Like that's kind of why I like Marlyn, right? Is because like she's a hero where like the path to victory is not necessarily linear and there's like a lot of decision points. That's kind of the decks I tend to gravitate towards. Like Syndra, I feel like she does have some deck building complexity, and there's certainly like a bit of like play sequencing complexity as well. But I feel like for the most part, like that's kind of been like solved for the most part at this point. And the deck's like a lot less complex because it's just very very red line. So I enjoy decks where the play experience is like I feel like I'm making decisions that matter and that influence the course of the game. Um, I don't know. That's the part of Fab to me that's like the most fun, right? Like when you have decisions, you make a decision and then you get rewarded or punished for that decision, right? Like that feels like what I really like about this game is like the agency of the decision making. And I like playing decks that like reward you for having that, right? Um, I miss Aurora the hero. She was really fun deck to play and play against. I think a lot of people miss Aurora. I think she was like she definitely felt like she was like a very redline deck, but she did have like some like counterplay and like some back and forth. And that's also like another thing that I really like about some of the heroes. Like there's a ebb and flow to the gameplay. It's not just like one player just like rolls the fuck out of the other player. Which is kind of like what Gravy at least like has a lot of like high agency decision making, but you do have a lot of that like very high roll potential where you just like absolutely crush your opponent. But like the things I like most about this game are just like having decks that like have high agency, and I also like having decks that have a little bit of back and forth. Like you can't just like put your foot on the brake all the time, right? But yeah, that's kind of like the decks that I like. I miss Aurora to a degree. I miss the mid-range Aurora deck. That was fun. Yeah, Rip Girly. I was thinking about it, but you could have fuck over an Aurora if you uh hard read a second star. Oh yeah. Like second strike is like another really good design card, right? Because like you reward you're rewarding your opponent for like interacting with you and like blocking if they know you have like second strike, right? Like I really like those cards where it's like show of strength, right? Where you're encouraging your opponent to interact with you in a way that they might not otherwise want to, right? Which I think is like really compelling game. I don't know. That to me is like the fun of Fab is like having back and forth and having agency in your decision making. Like that, those are like the two things that I think I like the most about the game. I got the matchup very good on Mario and then dodged pretty much all of them at the PQ. Yeah, yeah, that happens. Gem Roulette is a cruel. Okay, but yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up there for today. Let me post the deck link in chat so people have it. But yeah, this is my version of the cross wrap build. I think very similar to someone in chat who was talking about just like upping the blue count a bit, like cutting the lace with blood rots and then adding like an extra like codex blood rot for reload. So I think this is like a pretty decent cross art build. I'm sure like Levi or someone will bring it to an event and like refine it a little bit more, or something like that. But yeah, I think this is a good starting point. And also like we saw the Murderous Rebels actually not be that bad. It's mostly just blue 3 block. I replaced the Tipples mainly because if we don't have that starting gold, then like refreshing the gold is like a little bit less good. I don't know if that's still correct though. Maybe still bring in like 1 or 2 Tipples or something. But yeah, I think like pretty compelling. I don't know, Skullbone list. Like I don't think we did that bad. Like what did we? All right, we played 6 games. We lost just the 1 to the Reinar. Or I guess okay, the KO game I think we left, right? Or they left or whatever. So like 4 out of 5 games, still pretty good, right? Small sample size. But yeah, let me go ahead and post the deck list in chat, just so people have it. But thank you all for stopping by. Probably the last game of the stream. But I'll answer some chat questions for a little bit. How good is Return Fire? So it's not amazing. Like maybe there's a meta for Return Fire, but in general, it's very clunky, especially off like 3 oak. Like you really want your reds to be good, and like drawing gold and like drawing a Return Fire is also really awkward. So like when Return Fire lines up, it's obviously a 0 for 7, but like getting it to line up is really awkward. The card that does make this card a little bit better is like Trench, right? You can like trench away your arsenal, then Return Fire, then load, and then you're getting the +7 value. But then you have to run Trench, which is like a bad card, and then you're also running like other bad cards. It's like I don't know. I think this card is like There's maybe a meta for it, but I don't think we're in that meta just yet. Return fire is so rough. It's insane when it lines up, but you're gonna have an arsenal. Yes, exactly. Like if you're playing like the deck correctly, a lot of times you're gonna just be on an arsenal from like ponder tokens. So if you're like think about return fire this way. Let's say you're on an arsenal with return fire and you're running trench, right? So return fire is a 0 for 7, but you have to get rid of your arsenal, which is also like an arsenal. Like some people have described it having an arsenal as having like 4 points of value as opposed to just a normal 3 points of value from hand. So you're like, if you're trenching, you're getting rid of your arsenal, which is like 4 points of value, and then you're getting plus 7 points of value. So you're only really getting like plus 3 value out of this card, which is like kind of weird to think about, assuming that you already have an arsenal. If you don't have an arsenal, this card's great, right? Because you get to return fire. Like maybe there's like a play pattern difference, but this card is just like super clunky. And it's also clunky in multiples, which is really bad, right? So if you draw like multiple return fire, you only get to load 1 arrow, right? Which is also really awkward. So I think this card's just like more trouble that like the stat line on it is deceptively good, but the play patterns it encourages are like really bad, right?
Having to banish something from your hand also makes like less of a
yeah. Yeah, it's like kinda, yeah. So I don't know. It's like I think it's more trouble than it's worth, is my opinion on it. I'd rather have take cover over return fire if I need the 4 block. Yeah, like I think the reload on that on take cover is a lot better. Return fire lightning ranger will probably be a must though. Yeah, maybe. Like I think there's definitely like room for this card to be good in other like rangers. Just like I think this card's like decent in Riptide, kind of. Because you can like do like a dry powder shot or whatever, and like that's maybe fine. Like it's I think a lot better with like New Horizons as well, right? Maybe, or no, is it better? It might be better in like a New Horizons build. But I think the card right now is not super compelling, just because like you don't want to run Trench and Marlynn because like Trench. Let's actually talk about Trench for a second. So I think I see like a lot of people like the Trench enjoyers. I'm gonna try to call them out here. So Trench, the effect on Trench is bad. Like this card is not good, right? Like it's a one blade break, right? You thought you saw bait the hook on your maybe board. Oh, funny. Okay, so Trench is like a bad card, right? So if your opponent CNCs you and you trench it, you have basically gotten CNC'd, right? You just have 1 more card in your deck. Like that's all this card does, right? This card doesn't net you any resources because you're doing it on your opponent's turn a lot of the time, or you're doing it on your turn. Like this card is just bad. Like just like this is not like a good card right now. Like maybe there's a deck that makes use of it in the future, and like maybe it's a little bit more compelling. But like right now, this card is just like bad. The art's cool. The art is very cool, but the effect is like not actually good and doesn't really help against anything right now. Other than just as like AB1, right? But yeah, I don't know. This card is like not as good. Like I feel like this is like a deceiving card for new players, right? Because it's like, oh well, what's like an answer to a deck that just like wants to blow up my arsenal all the time? Oh, it's Trench, right? Well, you're already blowing up your arsenal. You're just doing it yourself instead of your opponent doing it, right? Yeah, this is just AB1. It's AB1 with Blade Break 1, which is actually a somewhat relevant clause because you get to like I've had this card win me the game against Florian because I was able to AB and then also block with it, and then I just like go to 1 and then kill them, right? So this card is like still very good for the AB1 Blade Break, but like the effect is terrible. I'm gonna be real. The most value I see for Trench is anti-wizard kills. Yeah, basically that, right? All right, but I think I'm probably gonna wrap it up there. So nice little 2-hour long stream. Hope you all enjoyed. Yeah, we might experiment with some non-COD builds a little bit more. Compelling early results though. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by the stream, and we're probably gonna stop there. So hope you all enjoyed.